There's 4 questions that you need to ask any VC before you take their money. And these are super important questions that you need to think about. Because if you do and get the right answers, then it could be a really bad situation for you and your business. So the first question is, and this is very important because VCs typically have an investment thesis that they have to stick to. So for example, Sequoia Capital, one of the biggest VCs in the world, has historically stuck to investing only in infrastructure companies. That was their thesis. They made some of the biggest investments in companies like Google and WhatsApp and Stripe, all infrastructure companies. However, more recently, they also started investing in consumer internet companies as well. Now that's a big shift for them, but they're starting to do it more and more often. And that's just an example of one of the biggest VCs in the world. But most VCs have investment theses that they have to stick to. If you're a company that doesn't fit into that thesis, chances are they're not going to invest in you at all. And so you want to make sure that you understand what their thesis is, whether or not you fit into that thesis. And if you're a founder who's starting to fundraise, it's a really good idea to find out what their thesis is, so you can convince them that you are a great fit for that thesis. And if you're a founder who's already raised money from VC, this is a really important question to ask, because it is possible that the partners of the firm might change over time. And if a new partner comes in and they have a different thesis than your existing investors, then that could cause problems for you down the road when you start fundraising again. The second question is, what are the 3 most important things that you look for in a company? And this is important because you want to know how they evaluate companies, what they look for in a company. Because once you know that, you can play up those points when you're pitching them. For example, do they care a lot about the team? Do they care a lot about product market fit? Do they care a lot about market size? Once you know what those 3 things are, you can go into your pitch meeting and talk about why you're the best team, why you have the best product market fit, why you're going after the biggest market. So you want to know what those 3 things are. The third question is, can you share with me 3 companies that you've invested in that were very similar to mine? This is a really important question because you want to see, again, do they invest in companies that are similar to yours? And also, you want to get references. Like if they say, yes, of course, these are the 3 companies. And you should ask them questions about their experience with that VC firm. Was it a good experience? How was their experience working with them? What were the pros and cons? You should really get a good idea of what it is like working with that VC firm by talking to other founders who have worked with that VC firm in the past. And the fourth question is, can you share with me 3 companies that you've invested in that didn't work out? It is important to ask this question because every VC wants to believe that all of their investments are gone, but that's not the case. In fact, most of their investments will not be winners. And so you want to know, okay, what are some of the companies that didn't work out? And if you look at the common reasons why those companies didn't work out, you can try to avoid those pitfalls yourself. And there's 2 additional benefits to asking this question. The first is that if a VC is not willing to share with you the companies that didn't work out, that's a huge red flag. You should not work with that VC. The second thing is that if a VC shares with you the companies that didn't work out, they know what the reasons are why those companies failed. And if those reasons are things that you can avoid, then that's even better. It shows that they're very thoughtful about their investments, and they know what the common mistakes are. These are for critical questions that you need to ask any VC before you take their money. There are definitely other questions that you should ask, but these are the 4 most important questions. And if you don't get the right answers to these 4 questions, then you shouldn't take money from that VC. I'm confident that this is going to help you. And if you'd like more advice on this topic, please let me know. I'm happy to share more.